No, where are you at? What's up, Formula Meme? And what is up, Altuve Mickelson? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday night. Brian, who has been on this channel a lot and I play World of Warcraft with, he thought it was Thursday. And I'm like, oh, I wish it was Thursday as well. I wish it was Thursday as well. How are you guys doing? Assembled Brick! What up, my man? How have you been? No, those kids were good. I told you when I was at the gym today when I was riding the bike, and this when I watched the videos. I hope they stop grunting, because it's like grunting like at a reasonable level. Like I would even say that Nadal kind of grunts excessively, even though he's not what most people think of as like an excessive grunter off the top of their head. But still, he excessively grunts, and obviously I know it's healthy and it's a good habit to have to grunt as you're making contact with the ball. And by grunt, I mean exhale air, exhale air out of your lungs. But yeah, it's you know, it can be extremely excessive sometimes. Let's see. What am I doing? Dude, I'm ranking tennis strings. Yeah, the Vcore Pro, David Lee, it's a very control-oriented racket. So there's two Vcore Pros that I hit with. There's the Vcore 310 grams and the Vcore 330, which is the heaviest one. They're both really good rackets. If I were to ever switch to the Vcore Pro line, it would be the Vcore Pro 310 because I'm not nearly strong enough to do the 330, the heaviest Vcore Pro. In all honesty, Faceless Man, I think because I have. Let's see. I have a vlog episode coming out tomorrow. So I already did that drill, but there is a drill that I can. I'll give you the thing. I'll give you advice. So if you're practicing for a match, especially when it comes to the idea of serve and then like playing out the point from the ground, you have to partition your mind into there's a serving part of the point if you're serving. And then there's kind of like the rest of it, right? And if you're returning, it's the returning part and then the rest. So if I were you, next time, whether you play on clay or hard court, to get your serve and your everything else going well, at least to, your standard, hit with a buddy, get warmed up for like 15 minutes, and then just do 4 on, 4 off. Where you serve 4 points, you don't even keep track of score. You serve 4 points, and then you return 4 points, and then you play it out. So if you miss your first serve, you hit a second serve, stuff like that. It's a good like it's a good pressure way, but not too much pressure to be able to play in a match environment, because everybody can hit from the baseline, cross court, up the middle, down the line, stuff like that. That's not a problem. It's getting the serve in or getting the return in if you're returning, and then getting the point started. Assemble Brick, I got some videos, and they were young kids. They were very talented. I'm talking about like I think the kid was 6 and the boy was like 9, but they were extremely athletic, really good technique, really strong for their age, but they were just grunting like maniacs. What's up, Aluk Aurora? How you doing, my man? Yeah, Kyrgios doesn't do it too much. I mean, he'll pick it up every now and then, but it's not like a consistent thing. So I agree. Yeah, the HD. I haven't tried the HD one, David Lee. Yeah, Kyle Furtek. I've experienced that as well, where Babolat. I would actually argue for me, they don't make good rackets except for maybe the Pure Strike line. You know, you guys see me play tennis. I'm not a Babolat Pure Drive. I'm not a Babolat Aero Pure kind of guy, given my game style. But it's, you know, obviously they're very successful. But yeah, but their quality control is absolute garbage. You know, there's the same racket in the same model, the same year, could be as much as 10 grams off, which does take into effect after a while. Datboy05, what channel was that you sent me on Instagram? I think it was Datboy05 that was messaging me back and forth when I was on the bike. And he was like, hey, dude, check this out. And like, yeah, it was the kids, but they were good, but they were grunting just a little bit too much. Yeah, if you want super stiff rackets, go ahead. You know, obviously to each their own, but Kyle, that's not that's not what I need. Oh, by the way, I need your guys on a tiebreak. So, you know that on my latest Instagram, there was a vote, right? Between let me double check. So on my latest Instagram, I think I posted like a day ago or a day and a half ago. I had two strings, right? The Technifibre 4S, and then the Babolat Pro Hurricane Tour, which is now, sorry. The Pro Hurricane Tour from Babolat is actually now called the Babolat RPM Hurricane, I believe. I think it's stupid how they are trying to rebrand everything to RPM, but I'll touch base on that if this gets voted. And then the Technifibre 4S, right? So this actually was the most voted on Instagram by a good amount. But there's an issue. Oh, Renata Kocha? Renata's a pretty unique name. I've only known one other Renata, and I think she was Belgian? It was somewhere in Central or maybe like Eastern Europe. Okay, but get this, right? So, I want you guys to guess how many votes this poll got in total. Don't think about like this one by this much and this one by this much. Think about how many votes were in total between these two that I posted on my Instagram just over a day ago. Type it in chat. Yeah, Assemble Brick is that one because we're just screaming basically. It was bad. Bear pack. I need to grab coffee. Yes, I drink coffee at night. Oh. I wish it was 100 or 104, 110. Sorry, Drake, not. Was it at least close though? You gotta admit, pushers, it takes a lot of effort to be a pusher. It takes a lot of discipline. Actually, so the reason why here, so I'm gonna be ranking every single string I've reviewed, and there's 20 of them, I believe. And I'll give you kind of like my thoughts in the summary of it, right? So Drake, I have never played with the Luxilon 4G Soft, but I have played with the 4G, so I don't know how different it is. Steven Tran, I carry 4 E-zones. Strategy against a pusher? Make the pusher come to the net. That's my strategy, always. Pushers hate the net. They absolutely hate them. Okay, so there were 80 total votes in my last poll between these two. Literally 40 of them went to Technifibre 4S, and the other 40 went to Babolat Pro Hurricane Tour. So you guys are gonna be the tiebreak. So I'm gonna put it right now in chat. So please vote. Oh, I love me the Curio Slap formula meme. Yes, Alok Aurora, I do, because I have a one-handed backhand, I would advise anyone that has a one-handed backhand to slice anywhere from 25 to 50 or even 75% of their backhands from the baseline. It's a really good change of pace. And except for maybe Andy Murray, the best backhand slices from the baseline happen to come from one-handed backhands, at least on the ATP tour, such as Dimitrov, Federer, Tommy Robredo. The only one that doesn't really have a good slice from the backhand side is Gasquet, but he's French, so don't worry about it. Guys, the message is pinned. See you, Assemble Brick. Have a good one, man. Jerry Mao, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Jerry, I have not tried the ISOSpeed cream, but apparently it's even better than the ISOSpeed baseline control, and I think it's about $90 a reel, which is still pretty damn good. So let's actually check it out. Oh, 120, but still pretty damn good. One of the softest copolys available. We'll see how that is. I don't know why, Alok Aurora. I don't know why. But here are the results. So you want me to do the Pro Hurricane Tour and not the 4S. Noted. I'll string it tomorrow. I'm hitting with Brian tomorrow for the play test. Okay, now what you guys came for. So this is the ranking of the 20 strings I've reviewed so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, I'm missing Gamma. 1 second, I messed up. So, What do you think I'm going to be doing? How do you think I'm going to rank him? Sorry, I did the math wrong. It's 19, not 20. Yeah, a lot of people have been telling me, Steven Trent. I think you're one of the people that want me to do the Solinco Revolution. So, yeah. Pre-strung rackets. Yes, Evan Lee. Pre-strung rackets from Target or Dick's Sporting Goods. Because why the hell not? Dude, Christian, take a look at my review. It's better than the RPM Blast in my opinion. The ISOSpeed Baseline Control 16 is half a step above, performance-wise, than the Babolat RPM Blast. I'm not even joking. And it's $40 real. No, for me, I'm ranking this on consumer friendliness versus like overall playability. So in the playability, by playability, I mean like how it performs on the court. So that's spin, that's tension maintenance, is how, you know, finesse it feels, on top of, you know, against the idea of how cheap it actually is. Okay? So those are the rules, right? How well it performs, that includes everything that Alok Aurora just said. That includes power, comfort, tension maintenance, durability, feel, ball pocketing, spin potential, versus how much it actually costs. I have not tried the E-Zone Tour. I've had so many people message me about that, but I'm not nearly strong enough quite yet to do the E-Zone Tour. They kind of do. Again, every body is different. Every body plays tennis differently. So I would say that there's only about a 50% match on those. Oh, I'm making this into a video. Don't get me wrong. I'm making this into a video. Okay, so number one. Oh, by the way, S tier means superior, which is like excellent, almost perfect. A is really good. B is eh. So, you know, grading scale, except S is at the top. Okay? Any questions? I have not tried Tourline String, but it is on my list. Evan Lee. Okay. First up, Babolat RPM Blast. Okay? Consumer friendliness versus performance. It is gonna land in C. It's a pretty good string, right? So even though I did say it's like overpriced pieces of shit, and it is in my opinion, it's still not a bad string. It's fairly spin friendly. I hate it how it's claiming it's 8-sided on top of, you know, the BS Rafael Nadal marketing BS, which I hate about Babolat as a company, but it's still a pretty decent string. Great ball pocketing, pretty good finesse, and really good at the net, surprisingly. I think I even made a mention that I wish it had more spin potential, specifically on second serve, spin serves. Because from the baseline, it had really good spin potential. But it didn't have enough bite on the serves for some reason, which is really, really weird. Okay, so nice middle of the road, not bad, right? Should we just keep going down the line, guys? Down the line, or should I just want me to jump around? Your call. Hey, I'm not crazy, just loco. Spoilers, man. Spoilers. Careful with the spoilers. Okay, in the line. Babolat RPM Rough. It's ugly, bastardized, pimple-cratered cousin of the RPM Blast. D tier. Garbage. It's incredibly stiff. Someone said in the comments, and again, this is my opinion. Someone said in the comments that the Babolat RPM Rough is actually softer than the RPM Blast. Nope, absolutely not. It gave a lot more spin potential. The ball pocketing, at least from the baseline, wasn't bad. It was lacking. It wasn't super bad though. Better spin potential than the regular RPM Blast. But for the same price, it performed worse for me overall as a performance string. And again, I think it is about the same price. I don't have the price memorized. Oh, Polytour Pro's in there. Don't worry. Polytour Pro is second to last. Okay, Gamma Ocho. See, I have a tough one with this because I just reviewed it, so it's fresh in my mind, so it should be easy, but it's hovering in between C and D. I don't know whether to put it here or here. So that's a tough one. The Gamma Ocho, it was incredibly stiff. It didn't give me arm problems except for the flat serves. And I said, I didn't feel like a lost miles per hour on a flat bomb of a first serve. But it gave me massive arm problems. Jared Golden, I strung it at the same tension, and I strung it with the same racket, obviously, under the exact same conditions. And I used the same, I used it in a two-piece with Parnell knots to start on the crosses. So I don't know where to rate the Gamma Ocho. I definitely enjoyed the playtest because I think it's the first time I've ever used Gamma Ocho. It's not the first time I used Gamma strings. I think I did try the Gamma Zo Twist or the Gamma Zo, probably back in 2015. You know, good string. I just don't know where to rate it. Man, it is cheap. You know what? It's cheap. Relatively cheap. So it's not super expensive. I'm going to put it at C. I hope you guys are okay with that. I will put the Gamma Ocho at the C. Because I would never say that I would play with it if I had to change one or two things with how the string played. No. RPM Rough is not an F. There's a special place in hell for RPM Rough. There's a special place in hell for people that land in the F spot. Rate it. But rating's hard though. Like putting just a hardcore number, it's hard. At least in my head. Okay, I'm not crazy, just loco. Next up, ISO speed base not control S. There's not even a question. Like it's an S. There's no doubting it. Like I'm actually going to be using this as my go-to tournament string. Me at a 4-5 tennis level player with a 9 UTR basically. I'm using a $40 real string over some of these other strings that are much more expensive on this list. Gamma Ocho, Alok Aurora, Gamma Ocho I found for $12 a packet. Oh, 13. Apologize. $1 off. I mean, it's cheaper. Maybe cheap is the wrong word. Maybe it's more value oriented than some of the other big manufacturers out there. Okay, next up, Kirschbaum Black Shark. So, you know how I said F has a special place in hell? It's like, you know, Dante's Inferno kind of thing, like the 13th circle of hell. Yeah, that's where it goes. That's where it goes. No other way, it's not going anywhere else. That's where it goes. It was so promising up until it broke. It was so promising. It's a shame because like it was a shaped copolyester. It felt really good from the baseline. It launched really well. Almost like a Solinco Confidential. I think it actually launched better than the Solinco Confidential. It was more elastic than the Confidential. And then it just broke on, I think it was a service return. We were warming up serves. And it was just, yeah, absolutely because of the durability, Joseph Bautista. Absolutely. Okay, Joseph Bautista. Imagine you rescued, or let's say you bought a golden retriever, right? Guys, imagine you bought a golden retriever that's 8 weeks old, beautiful puppy, beautifully bred. The personality that you want is playful, but isn't an asshole because there's no asshole that's a golden retriever. It's already potty trained, already knows its name after like playing with it at, you know, the breeder's house or, you know, whatever site you picked it up. Imagine you brought that golden retriever puppy home that's 8 weeks, right? And you're introducing it to your house. And then right before you go to bed, it just falls over dead because of some sort of genetic disease or heart attack. That's how I felt with the Kirschbaum Black Shark. I was having such a good time, and then yes, it broke. If it didn't break, it would probably be at least an A, if not an S, depending on the durability of that and the tension maintenance. Absolutely. Is it bad that you can't generate Datboy05? Hit with an open stance forehand, or at least a semi-open stance. That's my advice to you. Look, Aurora, just buy like shoes or something. I think if you buy over like $80 or $100, again, depending on where you live, if you buy a certain amount at Tennis Warehouse, you get free shipping. Racket of choice is E-Zone is because I need more pop than a Wilson Pro Staff 97, but I don't want a trampoline for a tennis racket like the Babolat Aero Pure or the Pure Drive. Yeah, Joseph Bautista. I hope so too. But before it does break, let me know how it goes. Yes, Black Shark didn't even blue ball me at that point. It's a little bit more brief than that. I would say as I was getting ready to leave the restaurant after we had a really good date, after she said she's gonna sleep over after drinks and I would make her breakfast tomorrow, she goes to the bathroom. I ask for the check, I pay for it, and she doesn't come back to the table. She just skips off with probably her ex-boyfriend. That's what it is. Not blue ball, because blue ball implies something magical happened. No, not this. Wilson Clash Series. I've hit with it, but I've never like actually played with it more than 5 minutes. It's a really good racket though. Just a little bit too much power for my taste. A little too much power. Well, Datboy05, I mean, how much are you bending your right leg on? They're similar enough. John Nakji, I think I'm saying that right. They're similar enough, but they are also different enough. So it's not like you're comparing a Pro Staff to a Babolat Aero Pure, but they're not exactly the same racket, but they are close enough depending on what version of the Pure Strike or the blade you're testing out. Oh, hello. Thank you, Essential Tennis. I'm assuming that is Ian. Thank you. The Vcore Pro and the Blade. Vcore Pro and the Blade, those are more similar in line than the Pure Strike and then the Wilson Blade, in my opinion. Again, it depends on the line you're talking about. You're talking about the light version. You're talking about the Vcore Pro HD, which is, you know, closed, and then the Blade obviously has different lines as well. You got the open, you got the 104, you got the closed string pattern. Everybody say hi to Ian. He's been very grateful for giving me a little bit more exposure, and I've been definitely enjoying helping him drill. He did invite me to do a drill with him, a nice forehand drill. So go visit Essential Tennis, guys, if you want to see me play kind of like a cone game to get myself ready for a possible money tournament this coming Sunday. It's a drill that I've been working on with some of my other hitting partners and students as well. He's been very helpful so far. Ooh, I can't wait. I want to see Ian. I want to play Ian from Essential Tennis at a men's open tournament in the finals. That would be like my dream right now. Absolutely. Oh, guys, you're never gonna guess who I ran to at the grocery store literally an hour and 15 minutes ago. Scott, who I played at Essential Tennis. I saw him at the grocery aisle, and he was looking at the beer section. And we actually were talking about Essential Tennis, so we have a lot of good matches coming up for you guys at Essential Tennis. So I'm hoping that you guys can enjoy it as well. Okay, the second Kirschbaum out of two, because there's only two Kirschbaums I reviewed. The Pro Line 2. Now, I will say the Pro Line 2 is either a low B or a high C, okay? So, you know what? I'm gonna say B. It's a solid B. My biggest gripe with the Pro Line 2, when I play tested it, was the worst spin potential ever. Like, I've actually gotten more spin potential out of the Wilson Sensation on a full bed, the Wilson NXT on a full bed, and obviously Natural Gut on a full bed. This was absolutely horrible spin potential from the Kirschbaum Pro Line 2, but everything else was fantastic. Really good ball pocketing, really good tension maintenance, really smooth, buttery feel for finesse shots, but just no spin potential. So again, this is my perspective on my playtest, but I would highly recommend, I'll post it in a second, Aurora. I would highly recommend that if you guys like hybrids, like if you like mains to be polyesters and crosses to be softer, put this on your main. It might actually work out for you, but for me, it just wasn't a good deal. I didn't not enjoy the playtest, but it was just really disappointing that it could have been, I would say it could have been an S tier if it had moderate or maybe even slightly below average spin potential, but for me, nothing. No spin potential whatsoever.
Takes it.
Permander, I would say, yeah, I would say do it for serve and volley because it's very, very soft for a cold poly. Try it and let me know how it goes. Or even doubles players. Beer. Okay, that is a YouTube video for you guys. So if you're not already subscribed to Essential Tennis, I highly suggest, one, you watch that video. It's going to make you a better tennis player and your tennis students if you do some part-time coaching. But also, it's going to make you a better tennis player overall. Because just like many people out there, if not all people out there that aren't professional tennis players, I used to be able to have a huge, not even able to, I used to have a huge gap between how I practice, and I looked amazing in practice. And then when it came to matches, like in college, I would just play like someone 2 steps below me because I had really good technique, but I couldn't execute it in a pressure situation. So this is a really good kind of stepping stone for you to close that gap, that playing level between how good you play in practice, how not well you play during a tournament or some sort of competitive play. It's gonna raise that competitive play to close that gap. So check that out. Chad, I only do 16 gauge right now, but as I said with the other questions I've had on this, I would highly suggest if you guys are doubles players or like serve and volleyers, try the Pro Line 2. At least try a packet, maybe not go all in. Poly Tour Pro? Christian? Everybody say hi to Christian Doctor. I recently played him this past Sunday, and I still have to, do the editing because I only do this part-time. Christian Doctor is the best, I would actually say the best ball striker in Wisconsin, even against the Division I players, just because of his natural talent and, his natural ability to set up and hit the ball. It also helps that, he's a perfect physical specimen. But yeah, Christian, thanks, man. Thanks for playing me. I'll have that video up hopefully by Friday or Saturday. I've just been pretty busy lately. Naresh Kumar, as long as you're not having arm problems, I would say that's a pretty good setup. If the Pro Hurricane or the Pro Hurricane Tour on your mains at 48 pounds is giving you too much trouble, try something softer like the Babolat RPM Blaster or the ISO Speed Baseline Control because it's cheaper. Because I remember the Pro Hurricane Tour being a fairly stiff string for being, I think it is around copolyester. What's up, Adi? Jonachi, ISO Speed Baseline Control, at least from the Midwest in the United States, ISO Speed Baseline Control is literally $40 a reel. And I think an RPM Blast and Alu Power is over $250 a reel. It's almost 8 times as more expensive, depending if there's a sale or not. That's why I think it's cheap. I don't mess with 17 gauge, at least for the playtest right now, just because as a playtester that's unbiased, and I want to be as consistent as possible, I want to have as very few changes in parameters for the string I review for you guys as humanly possible. That's why I always string at 55 pounds. That's why I actually use the exact same tennis racket. So I have 4 E-zones, but only one of those E-zones I actually use for playtesting for tennis string reviews, just in case there is a slight change. And Christian Doctor, who's in chat right now, who is a Yonex rep, he could attest to this. Yonex has the best quality control for tennis racket manufacturers. But even then, there might be slight differences. That's why for playtesting, I always use the exact same one for you guys at 55 pounds. Also, strong at 2 pieces. I don't do 1 piece. I do a 2 piece to have it a little bit more consistent and it's overall better practice. Ian, I'm giving you, and I strung the racket, so I'll drop it off tomorrow at the court. Solinco Confidential strung at 50 pounds. I have a Excel sheet, sorry, a Google Docs sheet of every racket I've strung in the past 3 or 4 months. USA leagues are still somewhat going around my area. So for my 4-5 state league team this summer, it didn't happen because there was not enough interest. But I know that for 3-0, 3-5, and 4-0, and maybe even 4-5 women's state league during the summer, it still happened outside for outdoor season. Okay, next one. Luxilon 4G. Woo! I was thinking about C and D, but it's gonna have to go to D. It's just way too expensive. It's an okay string. People say it gives you really good spin potential, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that the RPM blast and therefore the ISO speed baseline control gives you better spin potential than the Luxilon 4G. Also, side note, people say that the Luxilon 4G is extremely stiff, extremely rough. For me, that wasn't the case. Roughness-wise for a co-poly, it was actually average. It was still a decent string. Like, if they dropped it $40 per reel, I would easily put it in C, maybe even B. But I can't justify spending, what, $280 for a reel of an okay tennis string? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yeah, so doo-doo. I'm not crazy, just loco. Doo-doo. The tier list is my ranking of the past 19 tennis strings I reviewed ever since this channel's inception. Oh, sorry, tier list. Apologies on that. Got carried away. Yeah, Luxilon, I was hovering between C and D, but because it's so expensive and the string overall is okay in my opinion, it's gonna be at a D because not too consumer friendly in my opinion. So yeah, not much to say about that. Ooh, Luxilon Alu Power Soft, and then the Alu Power Vanilla. Ooh. This is tough. Christian Taves, I have never hybrided in the past 5 years because I break strings way too quickly. Strings similar to 4G. Let's see. I would say the Razor Code, Epic Strong Production, Epic Stong Production, strings similar to 4G. I would say the Technifibre Razor Code, and I actually think it's somewhere between the Polytour Pro and Polytour Strike. It's stiffer than the Polytour Pro, but it's softer than the Polytour Strike, in my opinion. Oh yeah, Andrew Himes. Yeah. ISO speed, man. It's the best. The best value. Okay, so Alu Power Soft. Oh, I'm not crazy, just loco. I have probably gone through about 30 lines of rackets, not gonna lie. Alak Aurora, I think Dunlop Black Widow is on my list to going to review. Again, these are just the ones that I've reviewed on this channel, just for you guys. But it is on the list for me to order come holiday time. And for those of you that celebrate Christmas, it is on my Christmas list. Okay, Alu Power Soft. I will give Alu Power Soft C, okay? Yes, it's expensive, but it's slightly above average. It's not bad, but it's slightly, it's okay. It's just expensive. Again, if it was $30 or $40 cheaper by the reel, it would be in the B tier. It's as simple as that. I just can't really put it anything higher than that because yes, it's a good string, similar to the RPM Blast, but I can't justify spending stupid amounts of money on a an above decent string. All right, Christian Teves. See you, man. It is easier to... Ooh. Bonsal Pepperful, I would say it's easier to add power just by your string choice. And if you want more power, drop the tension 5 to 10 pounds. If you want less power, crank up the tension 5 to 10 pounds. See ya, Ian. Rest up, man. We need you. Okay. So, hey, Gabriel. What's up, man? So, that was Alu Power Soft. I put it at a C. Alu Power. Vanilla. That is going to be a D. Okay. It's the same price, but the break-in period was slightly longer than the Alu Power. Alu Power Soft kind of broke in right away. So Alu Power Soft is a little bit better in my opinion. Look, Aurora, I wait until they break. Unless it's giving me armor's problems. I cut it out immediately. But I play until they break. What's up, Mark is my name. Something tells me you know me from my childhood. Alu Power Original. Okay. I've been thinking about this ever since I've been just going on a rant the past 50 minutes, right? So, Luxilon Alu Power Original. Yeah, the origin of the Big Banger series says Luxilon, which is a load of marketing BS, right? Don't believe marketing, right? Cut the crap. Stop telling me the story. Give me the string. Does it work for me? Does it not? And is it a fair price, right? One-hander. I have heard it has amazing spin as well. So, yes, I've heard the same things you have. And awesome for you for having a one-hander. All about that one-E. Luxilon Alu Power Original, I'm going to give it a D. It's barely passing my class right now. Well, Alok Aurora, I'm glad that you found my channel. I really am. So hopefully I can save you some money and every money that you know. Again, I'm not basing this on the market. I'm basing it on the price and the performance. I just want to say I hate the story every single time I read a tennis string because I don't care. I don't care who's on the cover of your stupid packet. Apparently, Nadal doesn't even use Babolat RPM Blast or any type of Babolat string. Apparently, he's using Luxilon now. But whatever. I don't care if it's the original. That's like saying, if you go to a car dealership, right? It's 2020. Are you willing to buy a 2000 Honda Civic Accord or a 2000 Honda Civic for the same price as a 2020 Honda Civic? That doesn't make any sense. If it's older, if it's crappy technology, it should be reflected on the price as being older and crappy technology. No promises. I'm not crazy, just loco. I would say you're not playing tennis enough. No promises, Assemble Brick. Datboy05, feed your cat KFC. Or take your overweight cat and drop it off at the closest Filipino restaurant. You're gonna get an amazing Filipino dish the next day. Okay. Oh, here we go. Solinco time. Who likes Solinco out there? So, Solinco Confidential. Solinco is the Solinco Confidential is the second newest line from Solinco. I think the newest one is the Hyper G Soft, right? So, I would say Solinco Confidential is a solid A. Diadem tennis strings. Yes, I am planning to get some. Yes, I absolutely am. I've not tried Ice Code yet. So, for you Solinco simps out there, we agree that the Solinco Confidential is a damn good tennis string, especially for the price of, I think, $160 a reel. That's pretty damn good. Plus, so it's shaped, right? It's shaped, but after like that 10 or 15 minute break-in period, and people have said comments on like how good it is after, a small break-in period after they get strong. It's really good. It has a really good spin potential, really good ball pocketing. Not as good spin potential as a Hyper G, but still really good, and it's only $160 a reel. Ooh, it's okay, fine. It's fine to disagree with me, your bedroom punk. I mean, can I ask what you don't like about the Confidential? Do you not like shape polys, or was it too stiff for you? Let me hear your thoughts. Okay, DatBoy05, seriously, take the fattest one, drop it off at the restaurant. Seriously. And let me know what restaurant that is, because I'm getting hungry. I'm thinking about KFC. Okay, so next. Hyper G. Let's see. What do you guys think? How high should I put the Hyper G? Champion's Choice, Lassie, Champion's Choice. So I would do the ISO speed baseline control, and then instead of NX for the poly, right? I think it's like what, Alu Rough or something like that. So instead of Alu Rough, Luxilon Alu Rough last, do ISO speed baseline control. If you have the ability to get that in where you live, and then for I think it's NXT, right? For the other one, for Champion's Choice from Wilson. Do Wilson Sensation. It's almost as good. Jonakji, isn't that freaking hilarious? All that logistical shipping is still a lot cheaper. Okay, Hyper G, it's almost an S, almost. It's an A. If it just gave a little bit more pop and ball pocketing, it would have given an S. So obviously, Hyper G has better spin potential than the Confidential. It's a more dead feeling, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely has less ball pocketing. But the spin potential compared to the Solinco Confidential is significantly higher. Another reason why it's in the A, obviously it's not because of the price, because it's still pretty good at 160, is that it's starting to give me slight elbow/arm irritation. Slight, nothing massive. So that's why I'm kind of thinking about, I don't know if I want to say I am or I'm thinking about. I either am or thinking about going to the ISO speed baseline control for my tournament string. So that's still up in the air. But I think it's a solid A. Okay, look, Aurora, I think that's very much in line with what I'm thinking. For player playability versus price for a shape co-poly. Yes, they both are within A. I believe so. Okay. Awesome, your bedroom pump. Glad we agree on that one. Okay, the Solinco Outlast, which I reviewed, what, 4 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? How much is it again? Why is your cat drinking out of the toilet? Dude, take a bowl of water and put it outside. Ooh, 115. Gosh, I thought it was more expensive than that. It's been a while. Huh. Okay. I'll give it a B, okay? I would have given it an A if it had slightly more ball pocketing for a round copolyester. Now keep in mind, the Outlast, I believe, was actually designed for kind of like teaching pros. I think that's why they made the name Outlast instead of high performance string kind of thing. So it's made to last a long time, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? And also, you know, it's only $120 a reel, which is, you know, good for consumer friendliness. But for a playability standpoint, as like a tennis player, not a tennis pro, I'll give it a B. I just wish it did have a little bit more ball pocketing. You know, pretty good spin potential for a round copoly, but I just wish it had a little bit more pop coming off the string bed. Just a little bit. What's up, my man? How you doing? Wingardium Leviosa. More on the Cyclone in a bit, of Local Aurora. More on the Cyclone in a bit. So, Tour Bite, okay? Regular Tour Bite. No, sorry, Tour Bite Soft. Yeah, I can't read. So, Tour Bite Soft, Softy boy. I'll give it a C. And let me just double check the price. Yeah, same as yeah. I'll say it's yeah. Tour Bite Soft is a C. Yeah, Space Flare. You're in the right mindset as me. So Tour Bite Soft is it still really hurt, and it still had really good spin potential. But I don't think it's that playable. Like seriously, if you guys want something with massive spin potential that won't need you to have arm surgery in 2 weeks, try the Hyper G or the Confidential. That's my advice to you guys. So again, it's not bad. It's not expensive. It's just, I think there's better out there, which is why the other two Solincos are in tier A, and this Tour Bite Soft is in tier C, solid C. Yeah, guys. Saria. So if you guys haven't noticed, Saria is left. You're a pretty tall guy, right, Saria? Because you seem pretty tall. Massive lefty serve, but he's improving in tennis. So if you guys want to do me a favor, find his channel, check out some of his videos, and give him a sub. He's doing some pretty good stuff, and I hope that similarly like you're following me on my journey to qualify for 4 or 5 nationals and singles, again, assuming it happens this year because this year is kind of crazy, hopefully you could guys follow him and see his progress as a tennis player as well. You seem a lot taller than that. Not gonna lie. It might be the angle that you're recording. Yeah, so follow Saria Tennis if you guys want. I'm loving this content creation from tennis players, original content creation from tennis players that I'm seeing on YouTube quite a bit lately. So I'm very happy with that. Yeah, then make sure Datboy05 that specific cat is eating special food. Here's the thing. I love cats, but I'm like allergic to them. I love the idea of having a cat. I actually grew up with cats, but for some reason, I wasn't allergic back then. But yeah, I love, not even just kittens are cute, don't get me wrong, I love cats in general. And I have I think my condo is 1,800 square feet. So I don't want to get like a dog. I mean, I could get like a Corgi or a Shiba Inu. but I don't think I could bear the responsibility of playing World of Warcraft, running a YouTube channel, being a full-time software developer, and being a part-time tennis coach and a racket stringer, on top of, you know, needing to let my dog out 2 or 3 times a day. So I feel sorry for him. Okay, so regular tour bite, easily a D. Same price as the Solinco Tour Bite Softy Boy, but it's just massive, massive arm problems. And I think the comment section that I saw on my review for the Solinco Tour Bite, everybody is like going through the exact same thing. Yeah, bad elbow, elbow surgery kind of stuff. So yeah, it's going to a D. There's definitely better out there. I'd be very surprised if people would prefer the Tour Bite regular over the Tour Bite Soft, because it's literally the exact same thing in my opinion, but the Tour Bite Soft is a little bit more playable to hit with, just a little bit. Janachi, I did a pretty in-depth analysis on RPM blasters versus ISO speed baseline control. ISO speed baseline control is better in every single way, literally in my opinion. But if you want more information, take a look at my Babolat RPM blast review and my ISO speed baseline review. In fact, it would make more sense if you did the Babolat RPM blast review first and then watch the ISO speed baseline control video. So take a look at that. Oh, yeah, I'm not crazy, just loco. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I feel so sorry for you. But yeah, it sucks. My goodness. So, I haven't tried the Hyper G Soft yet. And that is like #1 on my list for strings to order. Bonsell Pepperful. So, Razor code. Forgot how much it costs. $210? And you know they pay the ATP World Tour organization stupid amounts of money just to put the ATP stupid logo on that stupid reel of Technifibre Razor code, right? Look, Aurora, that's a hard question to ask because ISO speed baseline control is around copoly, and the Confidential and the Hyper G are shaped. So even though they are both polys, a round versus a shape, there's like a world of a difference in between, in my opinion. So that's hard to answer. Oh yeah, Saria, like seriously, ISO speed baseline control, and I think you're in the US, $40 a reel from any online retailer that sells it. I think Tennis Warehouse is the only one that sells it. But yeah, $40 a reel. Stupid. Yeah, but at REM 79, that's not the consumer's job to know that. That's why I always string everything at the same string, the tension. Okay, so the Razor code at 210. This is one of the most premier strings I've tested so far. Like, I was in love with it. But it's just so expensive. 200. Man, that's... round poly is going to be more comfortable, but less spin potential. And will have better feel in ball pocketing, naturally. And then the shapes has more spin potential, but in every other way, shape, or form, it's going to be firmer. It's not going to be nearly as soft or natural feeling as a round copolyester. That's my brief of it. Razor code, it's going to be a C. In all honesty, if all of these prices were the same on the strings, Technifibre Razor code would probably be #1 or 2 overall. but it's just so damn expensive. And it's stupid because you know for a fact that the Technifibre company, or the parent company of Technifibre, pay the ATP World Tour to have their logo on their packet just to make it more marketable. So it completely screws over the consumer like you and me. See you, Assemble Brick. Okay. So Volkl Cyclone, which is what Jose P has been waiting for. Yes, Razor Code is around tennis string, Barata Yapa. So the Volkl Cyclone, I think it's 160. Oh my god, it's only 130? Woo! Can't beat that. Oh, is it an A or is it an S? Oh. Guys, it's a Volkl Cyclone, which is like really cheap right now at 130. Is it an A or an S? Huh. It's at least an A, Alok Aurora. It's at least an A. Yeah, it's a high A, low S. I don't know how to put it. Sweats profusely, Syria. Sweats profusely. Okay, it's a solid A. So I'll order it that way. Right? This is the best A. This is the second best A. This is the third best A. Okay, I can sleep on that. I don't do non-polyester Z Jacobson. They just break way too quickly for me. Way too quickly. So the Volkl Cyclone is kind of like it was kind of marketed as like the poor man's version of the RPM Blast, but I would argue it's a little bit more dead. And it's gear shaped, but I actually didn't feel the gear too much. It's a little bit more dead than the RPM Blast. Yeah, I'll rank the strings in each grade. So, so in this A tier, Volkl Cyclone is above the Hyper G, and Hyper G is above the Confidential. So let me shuffle it around real quick. Okay, fixed it. Yeah, James Haldeman. I'm gonna try and get some IsoSpeed cream. We were talking about that earlier in this stream, I think, before you hopped on. Okay, so 2 more. You guys are over there. 2 more, right? Dos más. Polytour Pro. I actually really like the yellow string on Polytour Pro. I get the black or graphite one of those. 210? Ooh. Chad Connors, I absolutely love the tension head stringer that I got. I think I bought it for about $600. It took me about 20 or 25 minutes to install. That includes taking out my crank and then installing it. It was fairly easy to use. And I was extremely hungover when I did it. So it shouldn't take too long for you if I was able to do it in 20-25 minutes when I was extremely hungover and shaking. No, it's expensive. Okay, so the Polytour Pro, like, cost aside, is the best performance string I have ever played with in my life. It literally is. But 210, man. No, ISO speed baseline control is the S tier, the S rank. It's S A B C D E S A B C D F. Yeah, I was gonna put it at B, but you bring up a point. I mean, it's finding that balance because it's the best tennis string I've ever played with. That's a polyester. Yeah, but I'm only doing retail. I'm not doing the shortcut, your bedroom punk. I'm doing it at retail, no discounts, no special deals. Be careful, it might be fake. A buddy of mine found a full 660 reel of RPM Blast from eBay. Actually, it was Amazon at, I think, 120 or 130. It was Chris, who I played on my channel. I think he was the third match I played on my channel. And yeah, it was a complete knockoff. It wasn't even close. Polytour Pro. It's a high C. No, high C, but not as good. Not as friendly as the Gamma Ocho, in my opinion. Yes, I can blame them for pricing it that way. I absolutely can. Okay. So last one before we wrap up for the night. Oh yeah, Polytour Pro is fantastic. It's no, you know what? For even for a round poly, I would say it's soft. It's fairly soft, but really good spin potential. So Polytour Strike. So, ooh. Best string ignoring price by a step and a half. Matthew Wu is the Yonex Polytour Pro. But because it's so freaking expensive, I'm putting it as C. Polytour Strike at $240 a reel. It's tough. I know what tier to put it at. I just don't know what order to put it in. Middle of the D. No pun intended. Middle of the D tier. Oh no. It's the reason why Spittle Flip, why I put Polytour Strike in that tier list is because overall it actually performed worse than the Polytour Yonex Polytour Pro, and it's $20 more expensive than the Yonex Polytour Pro. It's worse and more expensive, which really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know, now that I say it, it's worse and more expensive. Yeah. I'm putting the F tier now that I said it out loud. Because I can't imagine any right-minded performance tennis player, like let's say someone with a 5 UTR or higher, wanting the Polytour Strike over the Polytour Pro, even on performance alone. in my opinion. Yeah, but look, Aurora, yeah, I'm not, that's absolutely true. But the thing is, as consumers, we have the right to judge a company's product or service based on the price. In fact, I would say if you don't do that, you're doing a bad job as a consumer. It's your job. Again, sorry. It's your job to get as much information as possible, and it's your job to make that call. Because we all work super hard for our money, right? We all work super hard for our money. So I want you guys to have the best information possible to be able to take that hard-earned cash that you made and put it to its best use. So that's my list of the 19. So I'll put this up. This will be published in full on YouTube, I think tomorrow. But I'll do some editing just to do like a top thing for a more abbreviated version whenever I get some time. So if you guys have any questions, leave a comment down in the section below. If you haven't already, please hit like, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to not only me, but also please check out Seria Tennis and also Essential Tennis, who has been very helpful in kind of guiding me through this whole process. I'm always using PGM 21. PGM 21, I hope you had a good workout today, just like I did. I'm always using 16 gauge at 55 pounds. So, again, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. I know there's 85 of you here, which is insane. Thank you so much for that. This has been hugely successful, and I'm hoping that you guys have been entertained. And if you guys are, please share this with any other tennis player that you know or tennis coach, because I'm here for you guys and help you guys saving some money and to make the best informed decisions you possibly can as tennis consumers. And as always, happy hitting.